So my name's Keaton. I'm the owner of Calgary's Heat Pump Guy, and we're going to talk about how to set up a heat pump in a colder climate. So I live in Alberta, Canada, where we can see temperatures down to -40 in the wintertime. So when we set up our heat pumps, we do it a little bit different than warmer climates. So in warmer climates, they have the heat pump always as the primary, and then they have what's called auxiliary heat, which is electric heat, which is usually very expensive to operate. So in those applications, they use the heat pump as the primary heat source, only electric heat when they need it, when the efficiency of the heat pump drops off. In our colder climate, we actually set them up called a dual fuel system. So if you go down the rabbit hole into heat pumps, you're going to hear about dual fuel. So the heat pump is usually the primary heat source in what's called the shoulder season, so the spring and the fall. So when we get down to about 0, maybe -5, -10, depending on the setup for your house, that heat pump will be the primary heat source. After that temperature, the natural gas furnace will take over as a primary heat source, hence dual fuel. You have power as one of the fuels, and natural gas is another fuel. So setting up what's called the balance point, the point at which you change over from a heat pump to natural gas heat, is crucial. If you have solar, usually the balance point is set at a cooler temperature than if you don't have solar. If you have a mid-efficient furnace versus a high-efficient furnace, we might set that balance point differently. So setting that up is very important with your contractor. So be sure to ask those kind of questions during the day of the install. What are we setting the balance point up? How do I change the balance point if I don't like where it's at?